Here we go. So before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that the University of Windsor campus sits on the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, which includes the Ojibwa, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. We respect the long-standing relationships with First Nations people in this place, the 100-mile Windsor-Essex Peninsula and the Straits Les Detroits of Detroit. We at Continuing Education acknowledge the systemic oppression and generational trauma that impacts Indigenous communities today. We vow to learn about Indigenous history and the complex systems of colonialism that has caused these traumas and the results of its influence as it relates to the world we live in today. We will then seek opportunities to raise awareness of the knowledge that we've gained through continued learning. It is also important to acknowledge that this week is Treaties Recognition Week in Ontario. So I invite you to learn more about University of Windsor's Indigenous initiatives at the website below. So just going through a quick agenda, I will be reviewing some of the careers and skills. Web development is a very exciting career path. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity. And so I'll be going through some of those prospects with you, as well as some of the skills that are required to be a web developer or in a similar role, and how our certificate and the courses within the certificate can really give you those skills to be able to be confident in filling those roles. And then we have our guest speaker, Majid Afshar. He is the instructor for the first two courses in our certificate. He is our web development expert as well. And so we are very happy to have him join us today. I'll be going through some program details, and then we'll open it up to Q&A in the chat at the end. So in just looking at some career prospects here, so being in web development, there's a wide range of industries, right, that require these skills based off of Job Bank Canada, potential employers in Ontario, including our Windsor Sarnia region, come from computer system design services from various industries. As you can see in this list here, these are very broad terms because every business, every brand, has a website, so the skills are highly transferable from one industry to the next. I also wanted to note too, and it's important to keep in mind that you don't need to have the title of front-end developer to use the skills that you'll acquire. Here's just a very small sample of roles that require skills in web development. And I can speak with my own experience too. I'm a marketing coordinator for continuing education here at the University of Windsor. And there's no web development title in my title, but I actually work in HTML, and I work in a content management system for our website every day. So it's very applicable. Web design skills are very applicable to my role as well, even though I'm not, a developer per se. So I also did a search on Indeed for some terms, the web developer term for careers in our province that are posted right now. These are some recent postings that came up, and you can see some of them have their base salaries posted. Some are notable organizations as well that need developers on their team. So there's a lot of opportunity, even within Ontario, for these types of skills. And so what do employers potentially look for in terms of skills and knowledge to be successful in a developer role? Obviously, you'll be working in with tech, so debugging and reprogramming, technical systems, communication. So this is something that is appreciated and is needed within developers because there is a responsibility to advise and consult with clients, with business people, and to be able to explain and communicate your work and your coursework as well. So there is opportunity within the certificate to do that. creative expression, you'll be writing and designing, information handling, managing information and analysis, so testing, analyzing information, planning, researching, and investigating. And project management is also a very transferable skill and is required as a developer to do. And so this is a very top line list of skills and knowledge that is required and that employers are looking for. So some of the sample tasks that just in searching for what tasks will be performed as web developers, and this is in Ontario, based off of Job Bank. You'll be consulting with clients, so the communication part comes in, prepare mock-ups and storyboards, develop website architecture and determine hardware and software requirements, source, select, and organize information for inclusion, and design the appearance, layout, and flow of the website. Create and optimize content for website using a variety of graphics, database, animation, other software. Research and evaluate a variety of interactive media software products. Conduct tests and perform security and quality controls. Plan, design, write, modify, and integrate and test website-related code. And again, these are some sample tasks here. Probably not all of the tasks, but just some of the top line, so you have an idea of what is involved. And then, of course, just did a quick search as well on the salary ranges. And as you can see here, there's a wide range in terms of how much you can make as a developer, a front-end web developer specifically. You know, if you search that search term in Ontario. So you'll see that while ZipRecruiter is seeing salaries as high as $137,000 as low as $32,500, the majority of front-end web developer salaries currently range between $60,000 to $99,000, and making $120,000 annually in Ontario. The average pay range for front-end web developer varies greatly. So this suggests that there may be opportunities for advancement and increased pay on skill level, location, and years of experience. So you may be in an entry level now, but there's a very, very, very high chances of opportunities to grow within the field based off of your experience, you know, even where you work and, you know, the location where you work. So with that summary, I would like to then introduce our certificate in front-end web development, which is why we're all here. So this certificate provides those skills needed to potentially pursue a career as web developer, or if you're responsible for website management, like myself, and you need some additional formal training, need a refresh, this certificate would be great for you as well. And to start kind of going through some of the courses that are involved and things that are involved within the certificate, I would like to introduce our guest speaker and instructor for two of our development courses, Majid Afshar. Dr. Afshar is an adjunct professor in the School of Computer Science at the University of Windsor, bringing expertise in data analytics and a passion for cutting-edge AI research. Majid is also a postdoctoral fellow at Toronto Metropolitan University's Department of Electrical, Computer, and Biomedical Engineering, where his work focuses on the intersection of data analytics, machine learning, and the development of a robust AI-driven models to tackle real-world challenges. Majid is passionate about advancing computer science through research and teaching, with a strong commitment to academic excellence. So Majid, thank you so much for joining us today. Please let us into a little bit of your professional world and tell us more about fundamentals of web design and development.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Okay, my name is Majid Afshar, and I'm an adjunct professor at the University of Windsor, and I'm teaching programming courses, web development, and data analytics, machine learning, and AI courses. Okay, I think, let me see, I do have a couple of monitors here, sorry. I need to look at all monitors to look at the page I want to cover here. Okay, so in this program, we do have 5 sections or 5 courses, let's say. The first course is the fundamental of the web design. In this course, we are going to cover different things. The first step is to talk about the introduction to the web and internet. So I want to highlight this thing right now. You don't need to have any knowledge about the web development, okay? Because of what? Because we are going to introduce all the basic, all the backgrounds for you. And don't worry if you don't have any background about the programming or web development. So in the first course, we are going to cover the introduction to web and internet. We are starting, let's say, starting with the history of the internet, history of the web, and go through the evolutions of the web. And also I talk about the different protocol like the TCP/IP, and even I will talk about the IPs and the HTTP protocol and those sort of things to transfer some basic knowledge and some essential background that you need for this, for the web development. And then we will jump to the HTML first and talk about the basic HTML, the basic element in the HTML, what we need to have a basic page, a basic web page. And you will learn all those essential skills step by step through the weeks, right? And also in the first course, we will talk about the CSS a bit. Through the CSS, we will learn how we can apply some stylish to our HTML code, how we can, let's say, color our page, right? How we can change the size and apply some sort of styling to the HTML page. Okay, and these are about the first course, and it is also important to talk about the GitHub now. In the first course, maybe in the last week, I try to talk about the version controller. You may familiar or may not familiar with the version controller in the first course. It is essential for any developers. It doesn't matter you want to be a front-end developer, you want to be a full stack developer or back-end developer, any type, or even the software developer. One of the essential skills as a developer is being familiar with the version control. The most important or the most common one is the GitHub. So we will talk about the GitHub, and we will learn that the version control allows the user to track changes, because when we do developing, when we do coding, you may rewrite, we may upgrade your code a couple of times during the day, right? So using the version control, we can review all the revision that we made, right? So we do have the revision history, the review of the revision history, and sometimes you can revert, right? You can revert, let's say you can go back to the last or previous version that you developed, right? So all those sort of things is possible using the version control. So we will talk and we will learn how to use the version control, GitHub, in the first course as well, and we will use it, the GitHub, throughout all courses, not only this one. So we will use the GitHub for the next courses. Okay, let's talk about the second course now. And can you please go? Okay. In the second course, the title is the Web Design and Development. So, as I mentioned, in the first course, we covered the basics and the background and the history. And then in this course, we will cover the HTML5. As you may notice now, so HTML5, which is the latest version of the HTML. So we will talk about some elements that only work on the HTML5, and we will talk about the CSS more. And let's say we cover more advanced CSS in this course. Okay, so another programming language that we want to cover in this course is the JavaScript. So using the JavaScript, you can add more functionality to any web page, to your e-portfolio. You can add many, let's say, magic things to your page using the JavaScript. So we will cover some basics and some concept in the JavaScript. So again, don't be worried if you don't have any programming languages, because I'm going to cover the basic in the JavaScript, and you will learn how we can take advantage of the JavaScript capabilities inside our HTML code, right? So we cover the arrays, the object, the functions of the JavaScript. And then we learn how we can apply the JavaScript, how we can import the JavaScript to a simple HTML page. And in this course also, we have the opportunity to talk about SEO and CMS. And SEO refers to search engine optimization, how we can improve the visibility of our page. When I'm talking about the visibility, means some search engine like the Google, they can see our web pages, right? When people are looking for us, when they're searching for us, so we can improve this visibility if we develop our pages in the right way. So we will talk about this one, how we can improve this visibility, and we will talk about the content management system, CMS, and this one as well. This is all the highlights of these two courses, and these are the essential, by the way, skills that you need to learn as to be a front-end developer. So I think that's all about these two courses. If you do have any questions about those, I think you can put in the chat, or maybe, I'm not sure at this point you want to start about questions, or you want to continue?
I can continue on. I just have a couple more slides, and then we can, let me just check the chat to see if there's anything, no questions so far in the chat. So let me move on, and then we will give everyone a chance to ask their questions at the end. So I did want to go through, so just a recap here. The certificate includes 5 core courses. So Majid teaches the first 2. And I would just want to give a quick overview of the remainder 3 courses, because really each course builds on the skills of the prior course. So I wanted to start with the 3rd course of the certificate, the UI UX design. You'll be within that course, you'll be learning all facets of the user experience and how to design for that. And that includes accessibility and inclusivity standards, mapping and prototyping. You'll be testing for usability in a website, and there's an opportunity to work in a team where you focus on prototyping and interactive user interface as well. And It's also important to note too that there are presentation opportunities within all of these courses. So you'll be able to present your work and to be able to just be recognized for the hard work in the projects that you've worked on here. And at the end of the certificate, you'll have sort of this e-portfolio that you've created throughout the duration of what you learned in the class. And this e-portfolio can contain your coursework and anything that you want to include that you can share with an employer or another institution or really anyone that can showcase your work. So that's something that is so important that you can show an employer that you know how to do these things. You actually know how to do these things rather than just getting the training and getting the certificate. So, so that was really important to us when we built this this program. So just going into the fourth course, front-end web development. You'll be learning the basic concepts of React, JavaScript library for front-end web development. Throughout the projects and hands-on assignments, these students will learn how to develop user interfaces using React. Topics covered may include fundamentals of React library, basics of JSX, React state, React props, event management, routing, forms, and basics of REST API. And then the advanced front-end web development course goes through the advanced concepts of front-end web development using React. Topics may include best React architecture practices, debugging and performance evaluation, external state, asynchronous APIs, authentication, and optimization. And that would be sort of the combination of everything that you've learned from the prior courses, and be able to kind of complete that e-portfolio and be able to present it to within your class as well. It's also important to note, and you'll see within these points here, that with each course, you'll receive a certificate of completion. And each of these courses are identified as micro-credentials as well. And so wanted to just explain a little bit on what micro-credentials are. So micro-credentials are these short courses, like what we have here, that certify learning outcomes for specific skills. They are aligned with what the industry needs. So they align with the needs or develop generalized skills. They do not replace degree level courses. And the micro-credentials that are issued within this course and our continuing education courses at this point are also non-transferable to other similar programs. So it's important to note that too. But the benefits of receiving a micro-credential is that it can be listed as a verified training on your resume, and it also can be shared with your employer. So say if you went on a job interview and your employer is, a potential employer is asking you, okay, I want to see your certificate in web development. You can send this through MyCreds, and we will be distributing these micro-credentials through MyCreds as a proof of receiving training through an accredited institution, right? So, so it's sort of the secure way of sending employers valid credentials, and it takes out the fabrication aspects and sort of the fake document type of aspect to that employment opportunity. So so there's that, and another benefit as well is that these courses are eligible for OSAP microcredential application. So if you do need temporary assistance on the course fees, you can pursue an application on our website, continue.uwindsor.ca, and I can link it right to the chat. Within our web development program details page, you will see a link that goes to more information about micro-credentials, but also an application of how to apply for the OSAP micro-credential application. all you need to do there really is register for one of our courses. We do have a deposit that we offer too. So you pay a $25 deposit to get your registration confirmation, and then you would submit that with your application as your proof of enrollment. And then just wanted to go over some program details as well. So the first two courses, the ones that Majid had gone through, Fundamentals of Web Design and Web Design and Development, those two currently are open for enrollment. We are working to schedule the other three, which will likely happen in the fall/winter of 2024. And I also wanted to note too that if you are an employer that wants to send your employees or an employee into one of our programs or one of these courses, there's also the Canada Ontario Jobs Grant where you can apply to have some of the course fees covered as well for your employee. So that's also another option for funding assistance too. Any details can be found on continue.uwindsor.ca. And please also email us. We obviously we can't fit everything in a 1-hour info session. If you have any specific questions, even that you can think about even after this presentation, please just email us continue@uwindsor.ca. We are really responsive to that email box, and we will try and get you an answer as quick as possible on our end as well. So yes, please just keep in contact with us. Follow us on social @uwincontinue. And yeah, with that said, we can head into the Q&A if anyone has questions. And Majid, if you could as well, as questions are coming in, if you can kind of explain what the difference between, maybe explain to everyone what the difference between full stack, front end, back end, and how that all works, and what kind of what is about, like what the difference is between those, and I guess what opportunities there are that you know of from your past experience for skills in those.
Okay, sure. Let's talk about the front end, because we are going to work on the front end. The front end really talk about the whatever users see. What that means right now, we are as a user, when we open the Google, what we see from the Google page. We see only a home page, right? And there is a text box when we can put some text for searching, and there's a one button. These are related to the front end. Whatever the end user says, which means the front end. So, for example, for ePortfolio, what you want to put for the end user, for your readers, for your audience, you will put your picture, your title, your job experience, your projects, any history about your experience, right? Those sort of things. So any things that the end user sees, which means refers to the front end web development. And you asked about the full stack, but let me first explain the backend development. So we do have two concepts, front end and the backend. I already covered the front end that we want to cover this one. So in the front end, we will work with the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. Of course, we can use any other technology, but in this course and this certificate, we only cover these languages, let's say, and we will use these technologies. For the backend refers to the server side. Okay, so assume that we do have a button in a page, right? When we hit the button, one function will be triggered. That function normally triggered in the server side. For example, when we are working with the Google, right, in the Google search engine, we search for a term, right? We hit the button, or sometimes we simply hit the enter. When we hit the enter, the server, the Google servers responds us. So the backend refers to the server side functionalities. The full stack means refers to developer that's able to work with both server and the backend. If you are able to work on the backend coding and also front end coding, so you can call yourself a full stack developer. That's all about the full stack developer and the backend and front end. And there are many opportunities out there for all of this. Normally for the full stack, you will earn more because you need more experience, more expertise, right? So normally for the full stack development or the full stack developer positions, you will earn more in industry.
All right, thank you, Majid. I also wanted to recap to the prerequisites for these courses. So the fundamentals of web design, there are very minimal prerequisites. You do not need prior web experience. We do just expect learners to have basic computer skills and English language proficiency. So we're starting really from scratch with the first course as an introduction. The second course, which is the web design and development prerequisites. So completion of the fundamentals of web design, completion of the first course is strongly recommended. Students are expected to have basic design knowledge and have built a basic website in the past. It will be expected that learners will have English language proficiency as well. For UI UX, completion of fundamentals of web design and development is strongly recommended. Students are expected to have basic knowledge and have built a basic website in the past. It will be expected that learners have English language proficiency. Front-end development. So the first three courses, fundamentals of web design and development, and user experience and user interface design is strongly recommended. Students are expected to have intermediate knowledge of front-end web development tools, and JavaScript programming. It will be expected that learners will have English language proficiency. Okay, and then the fifth, last but not least, prerequisites for the advanced front-end web development is the first four courses, completion of fundamentals of web design and development, user interface and user experience, strongly recommended, and then completion of the front-end web development course is required. So the first three is strongly recommended, and the fourth one is required to take the very last course. And then students are expected to have intermediate knowledge of front-end web development and experience building websites, and English language proficiency as well. So those are just the very quick sort of requirements. You do have the option to register for any one of these, provided that you have the knowledge and experience to that level of learning. It is not recommended. It is recommended because one builds on the other, that all 5 courses are completed to receive the full certificate in advanced front-end web development. And then also just to recap that each of these courses you will receive a certificate of completion as well in each of the course names, okay? And does anyone else have any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, please email us. I will put this in the chat. Email us after this. continue.uwindsor.ca. And we will try and get an answer to you as quickly and as accurately as possible. This is our website that will give you all of the information to the program as well. There's a register now button as well that will take you to the registration page. And it looks like someone is typing, so we will not conclude just yet. All of the courses are online, instructor led, so they're live, but they will be live streamed online, and they happen in the evenings, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, starting January 15th to February 15th. So each course is roughly 5 weeks. They're 30 hours spread over a course of 5 weeks. So the next session, so yes, so the question was, could you let me know when is our next session? So the next session, this will be available, Fundamentals of Web Design, will start January 15th, 2024 to February 15th, 2024. The schedule is on Mondays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the second course will start then in March on Mondays and Thursdays, March 18th to April 22nd, 2024, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, and then the other 3 are yet to be scheduled, but they're likely to be scheduled for the fall and winter of 2024. Hope that answers your question. And again, we will email this, if you need a recap, we will email this recording to you, as well as posting it on our web development programs page as well. Anything else? Any other questions? If not, I'll give you roughly 22 minutes back. And I appreciate everyone for joining today and learning about our certificate. I wish everyone a good day. You're welcome to go if you like. I will stick around for the next 10 minutes or so in case any other questions come in, but appreciate everyone's time. And thank you, Majid, for joining as well. I know you have a lot of insights. There are some questions that I thought might have been asked in this info session, but it didn't, so that's okay. That's okay as well.
No worries. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, Majid, to this?
For now, I think we just covered the basics. I mean, some outline about the courses. I think, I'm actually looking for the questions, honestly, to see, because, based on my experience, some students ask about, one of the, let's say, the concern, one of the concern of the students, it's about the coding skills. I would say, don't worry if you don't have any coding skills. If you're not a computer science student, if your major is something else, if you're not even a student, okay, so don't worry about it. We will cover all the essential skills that you need to be front-end developer, and step by step we move forward. It seems there's one question is coming.
Oh, one question's coming. Okay. Yeah. So one thing that I had kind of thought that would be asked was the new AI tools that are out there too, that could, quote unquote, build you a website from scratch, right? So right. If you can share your knowledge and expertise on why you still need web development tools with these AI tools coming out right now.
Okay, good questions. One of my expertise is AI, because Right now, I do have master's students at the University of Windsor supervising for the AI's project, and also I'm leading PhD students and research assistants for the AI project. I'm fully familiar with the AIs. And I would say the AI powered websites or web builders are not helpful for these courses, because if you want to be a web developer, you need to be familiar with all essential skills. Otherwise you can't be a web developer. If you only need one page only for one day, in that case, using the AI-based tools would be helpful for you for your case. But if you want to manipulate your web page or the outcome of the AI tools, or if you want to customize it, you need the skills. Otherwise, you are not able to change the output of the AI's tools. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you, you need the essentials, because for the web development, the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are the essential skills you need. These are not recommended skills. These are essential. Okay.
So the one attendee was saying, I have more than 5 years of experience as a professional software engineer, but not much as front-end development. That is why I was interested. No questions about coding skills. Okay, we have one coding expert here that we know of. No, that's okay. But you know what, though, this program and this certificate not only develops the front end, but it also lets you practice communication skills too. I think that it's very important to understand that you'll need to be able to explain your work and explain to a client or to an executive why you did what you did, and what functionalities in their language too, right? And make it make sense for them. And so this certificate gives you the opportunity to practice that as well, if that makes sense. What else can I mention? I think that's it. I think we did a really good sort of overview of the program. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's it. Any other questions, please email us at any time. Sometimes you'll maybe even find get an email from me from at 11 p.m. at night too. I do that often. But yep, any questions at all, let me know and we'll get that to you. Okay, Majid, I think we're good to conclude. Thank you so much, and I really, really appreciate your attendance today.
No worries, thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay, have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.